Welcome everyone to game number 2 of the Rising Empires League Season 1 semifinals. Here we are, game number 2 on Jousting Fields. Once again, it's Beastie and Marine Lord against Wham and Puppy Paw. We do have a 1-0 lead from game number 1 on Pit for Wham and Puppy Paw, but now we have the beautiful Observer UI, so you can see all the balances and all that in the middle. Spawning in on the left side, we have Wham and Puppy Paw, the Canadian brothers with blue and red, playing as the Malians and the English. And on the other side of the map, we do have Beastie and Marine Lord with yellow and purple, playing as the HRE and the Abbasids. Now, when it comes to this map, Jousting Fields, it's essentially two separate 1v1s for quite a while. First introduced in the EGCTV Winter Team Championship, it actually became a pretty popular team game map, surprisingly, despite the fact that, as I said, this is mostly just separate 1v1s, at least for some time. The trick to pay attention to here is that, especially as the game goes on, you will see players starting to chop their way through so that they can receive or provide assistance to their teammates. And one of the things that you will see here from players is that they will try to deny that. First of all, there's not much wood for the players to work with, excluding this little back forest for each, and of course this large major forest in the middle. But also, as I said, if you manage to chop through, your teammate will be able to assist you. So part of the reason why players will be putting a lot of emphasis on pushing these angles is going to be to prevent the opponent's teammate from being able to assist. Now we have vastly different civilizations over here, and I'm not sure what to think of them just yet. I feel like I like Malians and English here a little better, partly because this, for the initial part of the game, is a separate 1v1, and I feel like English early aggression could work very nicely. Could even see Men-at-Arms push... Actually, English is matched up against the Abbasids here. No Men-at-Arms coming from the English player, it's just gonna be standard Council Hall. But oftentimes you see the English player opening with Men-at-Arms, pushing away the opponent from gold. Still, English could be a very nice aggressive civilization over here with longbows, maybe a forward tower, especially because the Abbasid player has both of his stones very exposed. So it would be challenging to play into 2 TCs and then just an escalation of cavalry. In the meantime, I do see that we have this thing covered, so give me a sec, I'll just pause this. I think I need the other covered, though I don't want to spoil this. This is a recorded game, so hold on for a brief moment until I sort this out. How do we do this? Boom. And I just want to make sure that this is covering everything. Okay, how about we do it this way? Up. Okay, and now we remove the other thing. Yeah, I honestly didn't remember that the production queues show up on the right side. So how about we remove this now? Yeah, perfect. Okay, I just need to make sure. Wait a second, I need to unpause the thing. So, where is that? It's almost ready. Bear with me for a second. Okay, now we're good. Apologies for that, folks. I just wanted to make sure I don't spoil the recorded game for you, because when you collapse this top right bar, it actually shows the timeline, and it like relocates it. And if it does that, you're just gonna get spoiled. So I didn't want that to happen. Anyways, we now have the queues up. So where was I? Oh yeah, English. So with English, you can play aggressive over here, and with the Abbasids on a standard open map, what you would see them do is play defensive into 2 TCs, and then play into Horsemen Archers once they have the eco for that. On this map, this might be very challenging to do. You have your stones exposed, your berries are exposed. I don't like this position for the Abbasid player. On the other side, Malians are Malians, you can never count them out, as we have the Mansa Quarry coming in for Puppy. On the other side, Alkin Chapel coming in for Beastie. It's probably as good as it gets type of a spot for him. He obviously cannot incorporate the gold in it, it's just way too far out. But I think this is going to be a good setup for the farming eco here. He's also boosting his not just lumberjacks naturally, but the stone miners. which is pretty crucial. Beastie feels like he wants to play 2 TCs here, which is spotted by Puppy Paw. Actually, yeah, Beastie's got the stone. Pulls away the villagers. Puppy Paw saw this stone mine, so he knows fully well that Beastie has enough stone for a second TC. And now with the Lumberjacks being boosted, Beastie's gonna work his way towards the second TC. Would not be shocked if it was placed right over here on the gold and the wood. Stable on the way for Puppy. It's likely going to be a professional scout's play from the Malians, which you can definitely use on this map. If you take a look at all the hunt that we have here, it's essentially 6 patches of deer on each side. Allows you to really maximize the efficiency of those professional scouts, especially once you have the warrior scouts upgrade as well. Marine Lord, up to Feudal Age, he went up with the economy wing. He's just going to play standard Fertile Crescent over here. Hasn't sent the villager to stone yet, so instead it's going to be that 1 TC play into archers, horsemen, and then possibly expand towards the second TC at some point. Although he might play 1 TC semi-fast castle here, depending on how Wham plays this. Scouts coming out here for Puppy Paw. He's looking at this hunt. This would also be a prime spot for Beastie's TC, and it looks like he's heading towards that. Would secure extra food, which is always crucial for the extra town center. And it looks like Puppy is here to deny this. Beastie was prepared for this. He does have a spearman out there. The scouts are here to harass. 3rd scout on the way. You can see it on the minimap. But Beastie, he's going to have the spearman here. He can also bring a prelate if needed. But we'll lose the scout, which is definitely painful. But town center keeps getting built. And it's only 2 scouts right now. 2 spearmen, a 3rd one just now coming in. And it looks like Beastie will be able to get this town center up. Now, the question is whether Puppy Paw can yoink the deer before Beastie completes this TC. If he has professional scouts finishing, he can take some of the carcasses before Beastie can finish the TC. That's Puppy Paw's POV. And yeah, there it is. He's going to yoink 1 carcass, 2 carcasses. As good as it gets for him. Spearmen are guarding the rest. Second TC also coming in here for Wham, though. Playing as the English. Marine Lord had his scout nearby, but the stone mine is on the other side. So it's possible Marine Lord is yet to see either the TC or the stone mine. He's going to work his way towards the second TC himself. This is going to be scouted immediately by Wham. So Wham knows Marine Lord will have a second TC soon. Puppy also knows that Beastie has a second TC, naturally. Marine Lord will spot this TC right now. So everybody is aware of the TC situation for their opponent. Very nice and compact base over here for Puppy Paw. He's got 2 mines right next to each other, all surrounded by houses. He's going to have the carcasses being brought in. Just not going for wheelbarrow. I think I saw cattle as well. I'm not sure where it went. Might have been cancelled. Lovely wall from Beastie coming up on the northern side. Will secure some hunt, quite a lot of the berries. And it's also going to prevent those scouts from looping around, hitting those lumberjacks in the future. No walls coming up from any other player just yet. Looks like everybody else is just playing SimCity right now. Some Donzos now being mixed in by Puppy Paw. Beastie's gonna have to be careful with this. He doesn't want to be surprised by 10-15 scouts plus a bunch of Donzos. These walls will make sure that he isn't going to get surprised at the back of his base, and he's going to have the town center to kind of act as an anchor point for his defense for the time being. But obviously he wants to work his way towards that castle age. We can check out his resources. He's sitting on very low resources right now. The player that's banking up really rapidly is the Malian player, Puppy Paw. He's got 600 food, 500 gold already. Plus he's also popping out some Donzos here, so Beastie's gonna have to be careful here because he might find himself matching up against a Castle Age Malian player here. New patch of deer also being taken by Puppy Paw, leaving little for Beastie to work with. But Beastie's working his way towards some horsemen. He's going to loop around. Might be rewarded with a couple of picks here on the wood line if he can sneak around. I wonder if he can sneak around, though. The scouts are very close. It's like Beastie just out of line of sight. Might be spotted by the Dunsos here. Ooh, look at that. Sneaky moves. Will be spotted by the gold mine, though. He cannot hide forever. And yeah, look at the immediate adjustment. Dunsos being pulled back. There will be a lumber camp here. We talked about this. Papipo will start working his way towards chopping through. Same idea by Wham. Marine Lord and Beastie, they've yet to start working their way through this forest in the middle, as we have Castle Age on the way with the Farimba garrison for Papipo. Looks like Wham is also gaining some ground, with Marine Lord having expanded to the middle. Marine Lord should have enough to hold Wham over here. It's 12 archers, 3 horsemen against 12 longbows, 8 spears. If you have the support of the TC fire as well, that should be enough. Marine Lord, by the way, on 3 TCs, he expanded with 2. This is something that Wham knows about. Castle Age is in for Papipo on the northern side. Regnitz Cathedral on the way for Beastie as well. He's got double stables and a barracks, so he can start getting some men-at-arms out. He could get the Spearman upgrade. He could get some knights going. Whereas on the other side, what is the Farimba garrison occupied with? Right now, absolutely nothing. Looks like we're just going to have a sofa play. Also, some scouts upgrades are coming in. Wham, though, on the other side, he wants to go a little bit more aggressive. His villager actually got a lot of damage done to him. Was this one horseman harassing the Vil, but villager survives. There's going to be the tower, and battering rams are also on the way for Wham.
Yes, sir.
How is Marine Lord doing with Castle Age progress? He is still far, very far actually. He's going to have to make a stand here in Feudal. Will do so with horsemen and archers. He doesn't see this little proxy over here from Wham just yet. Multiple battering rams will be coming up. This is a very exposed location, by the way, for Wham. He's got 29 villagers here chopping through. And this could be a prime spot for Marine Lord to hit. It's only 5 horsemen, and that many English villagers might be enough to push them away. But it's still gonna be kind of a wake-up call for Marine Lord that that's a position that he can attack. If there was 5 archers accompanying this force, this would be a disaster for Wham. Still, Marine Lord will get to know that the brothers are chopping towards each other. Here come the longbows, here come the rams as well. Marine Lord, with good forces over here, should have enough to hold this. And once Wham sees this force, he should know that he cannot push this one. Here comes the horseman for the distraction. As I said, so many English villagers, they can fight this, but it's not going to be a good fight. In fact, it's a very painful fight right now for Wham. Marine Lord decides to disengage. He could have gotten a couple more picks if he stuck around, but he felt like he needed to pull back for the time being. In the middle, looks like Wham's push rather, got repelled for the time being. Beastie sitting conveniently behind walls, preparing for a push from his opponent. Might be thinking about the semi-fast Imperial here. Marine Lord nicely picking up some reinforcements coming in here from Wham. That's good value. And okay, there's the swing coming in. Beastie saw this with his scout. Marine Lord is told that Papipo is switching sides. And this is what Wham has been waiting for. Here are the rams, here are the longbows, the spearmen. This by itself is not enough to push the TC here. But when Papipo is accompanying this with a bunch of Castle Age warrior scouts and the veteran sofas, it's a different story. And the problem for Beastie right now is that he cannot help. Best thing that Beastie can do is try to intercept reinforcements through here, but that's easier said than done. This could be devastating towards Marine Lord. He's got a decent force over here. Force that's enough to hold back Wham, but I don't think that Marine Lord can hold against the combined power of the Canadian bros here. Ham's pushing in. Longbows will accompany this. First DC will go down here for Marine Lord in a blink of an eye. Production buildings could come next, and that's alarming for Marine Lord. If he loses all these barracks, it's going to make it much more difficult to fight off this force. He's trying to go into Spearman, yet to get the Phalanx upgrade though. But even if he has a Spearman out, It's gonna be picked off instantly by the longbows. And Beastie, he's just torching down the base of Puppey. That's the best thing he can do, realistically. By the time he gets here, Marine Lord might be dead. So I kinda agree with the decision from Beastie here. Marine Lord needs to somehow fight this, and Beastie just needs to punish Puppey Paw here. Kinda turn this into a semi 1v1. Marine Lord is doing the right thing over here, falling back, bringing some more production to the back. He's about to run out of this forest at the worst possible time, by the way, but... Here come the Rams. They're chewing their way through those town centers and production buildings very fast. In fact, they're prioritizing those TCs. And it looks like Marine Lord is also housed. Oh, Marine Lord is housed at 130. Will make it much more difficult to field an army here. Will clash with the Horsemen. Beastie on the other side, he's fighting off the Dunsos close to that gold mine, but it is all about Marine Lord right now. He's trying to fight this with the archers, doing a good job focusing down the Dunsos. Longbows trying to make their way towards those archers. This is as good as it gets here for Marine Lord. These choke points are holding off the longbows from focusing down all of those archers. Camel archers helping out here for Marine Lord, debuffing all the cavalry from Puppey Paw. And it looks like he also has quite a few spearmen over here pushing this back. Marine Lord, against all odds, 2v1, seems like he might be holding this. Has to sacrifice a lot of villagers to repair this town center, but he will hold off this push. And this is big, because on the other side, Beast is winning. This was the win condition for Puppey and Wham. They needed to do a lot of damage to Marine Lord, and Marine Lord is holding, at least momentarily. There are still longbows coming, but I think he's through the worst. He managed to get rid of the Castle Age army of Puppey Paw, and now Beastie is punishing Puppey. There are some horsemen that could break through here, cause a lot of havoc. Some men-at-arms also coming in. Musafati warriors are queued up in the Farimba garrison as a response, but now Puppey Paw is also losing a lot of precious housing, and it might make it very difficult for him to field an army. Puppey is down to just 58 population. Marine Lord is at 47 though. Looks like Marine Lord is also dying. He's got some archers still back, but it looks like a couple of sofas made their way into his base, and now he's getting pushed back. Now here's the problem for Marine Lord. He's half dead, nowhere to go. He needs to chop through Beastie ASAP. The difference here with Beastie kind of about to destroy Puppey Paw is that Puppey Paw can run. In fact, Puppey Paw should run. You see, Puppey Paw just pulled 23 wills. He knows he's going to lose this flank, but he won't get defeated. Problem for Marine Lord is that he will get defeated, and at this point, he might try to make a run through this opening. He cannot chop through. He's being chased by the longbows. Sofas are coming in. Horsemen from Beastie moving in here to try and save the villagers, but really, this is all you can do for Marine Lord. Make a run to this side. Maybe you get 3 villagers through. That's the best thing you can hope for. He's also going to apparently try to sneak a chop through here as well. But Marine Lord is as good as dead right now. Beastie, on the other hand, though, is getting rid of Puppey Paw. Wham just now on the way to Castle Age with the White Tower. Lovely position. Look at this. Wham knows fully well that Beast is about to destroy Puppey Paw. So what Wham says is, okay, but you will never get through here. Or at least I will make it much more difficult for you to do so. Marine Lord. This is some pro FFA strats over here, trying to hide villagers in the corners. He's at 21 population, all of that being villagers. These are being chased by the sofas, and all of these guys will be executed by the longbows. Nowhere to go for Marine Lord. He cannot speed chop his way through this fast enough. It's gonna be a massacre. Marine Lord is fighting this. This, ladies and gents, is turning into a 2v1 for the time being, because Marine Lord is virtually eliminated. No TCs to work with, losing all the villagers. He cannot do anything in this game. There it is, Marine Lord going down to 0 villagers, no TCs. Not even a single production. Well, he's got some production buildings still, but that's all. Beastie's pushing the TC here. Puppey Paw looks like he can make a stand now. And with Wham no longer having to worry about Marine Lord, expect him to send his forces to aid his brother here. Beastie's got a forward keep over here. It's a great position. Also getting ready to torch down the TC with those Rams. Villagers popping in and out, but they're getting caught by the castle fire. It's gonna make it very difficult for Puppey Paw to keep this alive. More Musafati warriors coming in, but all of them are being just showered with arrows here by Beastie from the castle. Another batch of villagers coming in, possibly for another keep. Beastie coming in here. Would be lovely to block this entryway. That's Beastie's win condition, quote-unquote. Needs to block this way to prevent the forces of Wham from coming through. Looks like a bit of an evacuation coming in here for Puppy Paw. He's going to flee and... okay. That got awkwardly close here for Puppy Paw. He almost had his villagers locked out by these stone walls. Ram getting picked off by the Musafari warriors. Castle not focusing over there. It's focusing on these forces on the right. So, with this, we basically have 2 players virtually defeated. Well, I guess 1.5. Puppy Paw is still technically alive. He doesn't have a TC, but he still has some villagers to work with. Marine Lord is at 2 population right now. He's actually making some army somewhere. I don't even know where, but he's got something. Oh, he's got 2 horsemen. He's microing 2 horsemen at the middle of the map. That's all he has. At least he can pay all his attention to this, because there is nothing else he can do. Anyway, Puppy Paw sitting at 46 villagers, though. He's going to have some level of contribution over here. And if he can secure the gold mines that Marine Lord left behind with the pit mines, it's also going to boost his eco. Wingard Palace on the way for Vam here, kind of in the middle of his base, preparing an army of crossbows, longbows, and it looks like he's going to relocate. What is the plan? Is he going to replace this with a Berkshire? Yes, he will. Berkshire Palace now on the way. This is going to fortify this crossing. So what would be lovely from Beastie is trying to find an alternative chop through, but it's easier said than done. I feel like he will struggle to break through here. It's just way too strong of a defensive position. 2 of the castle-style landmarks of the English, network of citadels bonus as well. It will be difficult to get through here. He's getting rid of Puppy Paw, that's for sure. He's going to clean up the rest of this army. He's going to have to find a way to Imperial himself, which I think he will do soon. Indeed, he's banking up resources. Has a lot of stone as well, so will not be shocked if we see a couple of keeps over here to fortify this crossing from himself too. Villagers walk at the stone walls going over here. The Berkshire Palace just firing arrows from a crazy distance. 15 tiles range, causing a lot of casualties here for Beastie. He lost like a dozen villagers making this wall. Some of that, of course, came from the longbows, but still, Berkshire Palace doing work. Update on Marine Lord. He's sitting at 1 population. Where is he at? We need to find it. It's 1 horseman somewhere. I need to find it. Oh, is he? No, not here. Oh, it's here. It's him. The last remaining survival from Marine Lord's Empire. Nothing else. By the way, this is actually a good point to talk about as we have a bit of a downtime over here. If I'm not mistaken, and Microsoft hasn't changed anything with this, your teammates can actually repair your landmarks, even when they're destroyed. So technically, Marine Lord is not defeated. If at any point in this game, Beastie gets here, repairs the TC, Marine Lord can make villagers again, and he can start rebuilding his empire. Will that happen? I don't think so. But the possibility is there. So Marine Lord is not fully defeated. Back in the days when you lost all your landmarks, you were fully defeated. That's not the case anymore. Marine Lord is technically still in this game. I'm not sure what happens if he loses this 1 horseman. If he lost everything, the game might actually knock him out and say, okay, you're now defeated. But I don't think that's the case. You can go down to 0 population and still recover in a team game.
Schönes Bild. Was soll getan werden?
Das soll nicht gesagt.
Some long walls coming up here from Wham. This is a very clever way to play this. Your opponent can chop through anywhere. If you have walls at any point, you will never be surprised by a sudden flood of cavalry. And that's probably your win condition if you're Beastie. You want to just head into the base and hit it with the cavalry from the HRE. straight up fights, I'm not sure if you can take against the English, especially narrow choke points like this. His walls will be broken through, so he's gonna have to be prepped for that. He's going to line up some Culverins in here. Would still love to see a keep over here, just to be sure. Because right now, one thing that's concerning is that once the walls are broken through here, enemies could swing north, and that's why he's stonewalling this. This is a lovely stonewall from Beastie. This essentially ensures that you will not be surprised by the longbows just sneaking past. If you were against a cavalry player, I would still be somewhat scared because technically there are ways that you can loop around, but I feel like Beastie's walls are satisfying enough to make sure that nothing crazy happens. Even if it was knights from WAM, it would be challenging to get through. With longbows, it's virtually impossible. Funny thing is, by the way, that Marine Lord cannot even harass with this one horseman because he's up against English Vales. So it takes a lot less effort from these Vales to kill this one horseman. If it was generic Vales, you could possibly poke away at some of them, but right now Marine Lord is just chilling. And look at this. That is the Griot Para coming in here for Puppy Paw. That's the big difference between the two, and this is why you see so much effort from the players on this map to chop through the forest in the middle. Because once you have that escape path, you have a chance for recovery. The problem for Marine Lord was that he wasn't able to chop through here, so there was no escape for his villagers. Now, that's the other problem for Marine Lord, is that he could hardly justify getting his villagers out here to chop wood, because we talked about this, you're up against the English, they will pressure you here with longbows. So, it's understandable why he went for the forest at the back of his base, but then again, that meant that he didn't chop through, there was no way of escaping. This is a beautiful pick, by the way, from the Culverins. I think it's the tower providing line of sight. Let's check on that. It's actually a little tricky. Wait a second. The only way that the Culverins can shoot through here is if Beastie has a line of sight. Might have been the Trebuchet firing at the wall, and that allows Beastie to right-click these. But you see, right now he sees nothing. WAM is opening this gap up a little bit more, trying to just generally chop through, so he's gonna have a large opening to get through. Behind this one, Beast is also working his way towards Marine Lord's base. And don't forget, right now, there is minimal vision from WAM or Puppy Paw here. It's crazy, but thing is, if you want Marine Lord to recover here, if you say, okay, we drag this out to be a very long 2v2 game, what you want from Beastie is chop through here, repair Marine Lord's TC, get him a couple of villagers, and then make Marine Lord come over to your side. That's probably your best bet right now. But looking at Beastie's position, he's just stacking up resources. He might be thinking about playing this 2v1. It's HRE eco, so it's very population efficient. That's going to help you a lot. But you are still up against the English. You're up against the Malians. So I'm not sure how well that will work. And now Puppy's eco is a juggernaut, by the way. He's got a lot of passive income. Puppy's getting close. He's got elite longbows, some crossbows. On the other side, Beast's army is mostly men-at-arms. Those guys will struggle against the crossbows. He's got one Mangonel, some Culverins as well. No Springles to deal with that Mangonel or the Culverins with from either WAM or Puppy right now. Puppy, on the other hand, is starting to make his way towards more Cav, and that's where it gets alarming for Beastie. As long as this is like a 1v1 style scenario, Beastie's got a good shot at this. If Puppy Paw really comes online, Beastie will simply be overwhelmed by 2v1 armies. It's gonna be a pure population game. You cannot win a game where your opponent has double the eco and double the army as you do. Although he's going to have a respectable amount of relics in the Ragnates Cathedral, he's going to have a very... Is he gonna wonder this? I think he's gonna wonder this. I wasn't sure if that's a thing. I know it sounds awkward, but when you play some of the AoE games, Wonder Victory is not a thing in competitive, and I wasn't sure if he can do this here. It makes a lot of sense given how he banked up the resources, and that's actually a realistic win condition. He can take down 2 players, The reason why I didn't really think about this possibility is because I wasn't sure if you can actually win with a Wonder in a 1v1 in AoE 4. It's definitely not a thing in AoE 2. I'm not sure if there are tournaments that deny this in AoE 4, but whichever the case, Beastie is doing probably the best thing that he can do in this scenario, playing for a Wonder. It's gonna be in this far corner. Expect him to stonewall this a lot. That's why he went with the Ausbach Palace, by the way. This is by design. He's going to have the less damage taken in the nearby buildings. This is going to help the fortifications. This is also going to allow him to get emergency repairs more effectively in this area. And yeah, he's just going to do something very similar to how he plays a game like Outback Octagon in the FFAs. Just play in the corner, fortify this a lot. And what I would love to see now from Wham as a response, or even Puppy Paw, is a chop through here. If you're Wham and Puppy, you cannot justify pushing all the way through here. It's just something that could take way too much time. You want to open a second front. You are basically playing 2v1, so you have the power to split Beastie's attention. As long as Beastie has to just focus on this narrow crossing, I think he's got a good shot at holding this. Marine Lord's got one horseman here. What he could do to aid Beastie is provide line of sight. He needs to spot if there is any new chop-through attempts over here. He needs to tell Beastie, hey, Puppy's chopping with a couple of villagers over here, and this is exactly what Marine Lord is doing. Provide vision to Beastie. Big push coming in here. Rams will be picked off by the Culverines, but it's overwhelming numbers. Crossbows will pick apart the first wave of men-at-arms as they do deal with the Spearmen, and the Sofas will jump on the Culverines. Beastie right now on just 8 army. Getting that Wonder up as soon as possible was a big burden on him. And let's not forget something very important. As long as you are above the 10-minute mark with the Wonder, the opponents can undercut this. If Puppy Paw and Wham secure the Sacred Site, they have this guaranteed. But if they secure this, then they can start the Sacred Site timer, and it just makes things much more painful for Beastie. So for him, holding this position is crucial. He's going to heal. He's even going to fight back with the villagers. Also desperately needs the gold, or actually he doesn't. He's sitting on 8,000. If there's anything he doesn't need, it's gold, actually. Could use some wood, which will be troublesome, or could be troublesome if Puppy and Wham start towering this. But for now, he's fine. He's losing the second cast on the front without major resistance. He's going to have to regroup in the middle. Right now he's sitting on 159 eco, which is the right thing to do here. He's not in immediate danger, so he's banking up as many resources as possible. The idea here is that eventually you will start losing those villagers or straight up deleting them, and you want to make sure you have an ample resource bank so that you can take long engagements when this timer gets close to 0. That's all about it for Beastie. He's stacking up gold, knowing fully well that he needs to do that before he loses this gold mine. Once it's done, he's going to send these villagers back, chop as much wood as he can, and just queue up as many units as possible, hope that it holds out until the 12-minute countdown goes to 0. Horsemen now flanking around. These walls will come in handy. But here comes the push. Beastie's gonna get pushed away from this gold vein. He needs to make sure that his opponents don't get this Sacred Site for at least a minute and a half still. But you see very aggressive positioning here by Wham. He's going to place a lot of production buildings on the front so he can reinforce this as soon as possible. Will decap the Sacred Site. I wonder if there are monks supporting this. Yeah, look at this. Monastery being rushed up. They don't want to gamble on pushing that Wonder. They want to undercut the Wonder timing with this Sacred Site. They need to get rid of the castle for that first. Beast doesn't have emergency repairs over here, and you have 5 trebuchets shelling at the Rams as well. I think they can undercut this. They need to prioritize the monastery, though. It's 1 minute remaining. Cavalry now will try to make a push towards the Wonder. It's walled in. There is an Ausbach Palace defending it. Multiple layers of walls now coming up. But monastery is complete. 30 seconds to produce a monk. You have 55 to capture this. I think this might be too late for Wham and Puppy. They might still be able to get to the Wonder, but I think they might not be able to undercut this. They were just slow with this monastery. Beast is going to push this one. He knows he needs to prevent the cap of that Sacred Site for half a minute. Here come the Musafati Warriors, and you see, he's just trying to snipe the one Monk that's coming up. That's all about it for Beasty. He's moving in, Monk is gonna pop out, he's waiting for it. He's sacrificing so many men-at-arms for this, but he needs to. The Monk is not popping out. Monk is not popping out for Wham because he's pop-capped. What a disaster. Oh, that hurts so much. He lost a house or something comparable. He cannot pop out the Monk, and this means he cannot cap the Sacred Site. Beasty did the right thing here, pulling the men-at-arms to snipe the Monk, but the Monk never came. Actually, I confused things. I apologize for that. That was Beasty's housing scenario, but Wham is also pop-capped. You can see it over here. He couldn't pop out the Monk, so they cannot undercut the timing now. They have to win this with just straight-up destruction. Still, their armies feel overwhelming. Beasty's outnumbered 7-1. He's got the mangonels, he's got the fortifications, but it's still 10 minutes to go for him. Double low coming up here for Beasty. Will not get the conversions that he hoped for. Needs to protect those mangonels. Those mangonels could be his lifeline, but the Musafati Warriors and the Sofas will just jump on them. Beasty now fortifying this position with the towers. Relics are down in the middle of the playing field, so they are not boosting any of these towers. But he's got fortified outposts. He's got the boost of the Elsbach Palace and a lot of Bombard Tower emplacements. It's all about sniping those trebuchets now for Beasty. The infantry, the cavalry cannot get through the Bombard Towers here, but the trebuchets can. Castle now coming up over here, Beasty. 9 minutes on the clock. He's going to make a run for the tower with the relics. Needs to garrison them, so he gets the extra firepower from those. Now it's a push of men-at-arms. Production building still over here for Beasty, but as the new units spawn, they just get instantly picked off by the units camping these positions. He still has good resources, though. This is why he was focusing on those resources so much. Just making sure he has enough resources to keep producing units in these very dire circumstances. Bombard now coming in for Wham as well. He's got trebuchets still. Castle will be cancelled on the northern side. It's 8 minutes on the timer, but here comes a new wave of units. Beasty is still outnumbered 7-1. Using the men-at-arms as kind of a cannon fodder right now, something that protects the Culverins. Culverins are out here to snipe the Rams, to snipe the Trebs, and the towers are here to defend. They are doing a great job, and kudos to Beasty because he's holding on against overwhelming odds. He has done that multiple times in Outback Octagon and FFAs. Let's see if he can do this here. 7 minutes feels like an eternity right now for him. But if there is any person on this planet who can hold this, it's probably Beasty. Villagers now being scrambled to the north, probably just kamikaze repairs at this point. Need to keep those towers alive. Men-at-arms still popping out rapidly. Beasty has the resources for them, but he doesn't really have the production anymore. He's losing the barracks. He's losing the Ragnes Cathedral. Villagers being sent to repair the tower desperately, but he's out of resources. So here goes another tower. Rams will be taken down. Men-at-arms still fighting back. Beasty down to just 7 of them, though. Town center still alive. Culverins now popping out. Beasty will start relocating those into these very defendable choke points. He's got the men-at-arms production now set up from the behind. There is still a chance, folks. It's a slim chance for Beasty. 7 minutes feels so long under these circumstances. But there's a chance. Or is there? Beasty is just gonna tap out of this one. Oh man, what a crazy game that we've just witnessed. I'm at the loss of words. I'm at the loss of words. Oh my goodness. 7 minutes feels too long. Marine Lord gets defeated in the middle of the game. And in the end, we just have what I would consider one of the craziest games I've seen. Not just in general in this tournament, but also in probably my entire career of casting, quite frankly. Anyways, great game, both by Wham and Puppy Paw. And of course, Beasty, given the circumstances, he has done a terrific job. He almost held out. If things went a little better for them in like the preceding minutes, he might have been able to hold this. Still, This is a 2-0 lead now for Wham and Puppy Paw. We'll continue on with game number 3.